Hello and welcome to Georgina, Kyllo Yoga. This is Izzy, my golden beetle. We're going to do a little bit of yin yoga today. This is to incorporate a little bit of strength, but remembering that this is a therapeutic yoga class, so working at a 50 to 60% level. So let's begin by laying on our backs. I have a bolster, and hopefully Izzy will go somewhere else once this starts. And I have a couple of blocks and a pillow. So, coming down onto your back, feeling a nice opening through the heart, and just allowing my feet to relax here. Beginning with noticing the breath. My palms are facing the sky. I'm just noticing and being curious about where the thoughts go. Creating a little bit of movement if you need to find more comfort. And then coming to stillness. Noticing your breath. The inhale, the belly rises, ribs expand, and the heart sinks down towards the earth. And as you exhale, your heart is floating upon your gentle breath. Ribs soften and belly button comes back to kiss the spine. Bring right hand to belly, left hand to your heart center. And let's take this moment to bring in our sankalpa, your intention. I like to have my intention be an I am statement. For example, I am practicing self-care and self-love. I am practicing nourishment for my nervous system. I am peace. Whatever that is for you is taking that moment to bring in your intention. Say this to yourself silently 3 times. And let's seal the intention by bringing the hands into the self-care mudra. Allowing this intention to rest upon our heart. And breathing it in 3 times. And let's bring our hands to the floor. So palms will face up towards the sky. And bring the soles of the feet together. So we may want to begin by using a few blocks here. You can take your blocks on either side of underneath the thighs. And allowing yourself to come into a restful yin butterfly, or in hatha we call Supta Baddha Konasana. I like to connect the breath and body together. So by gathering the hands into a gentle fist, and as I exhale, I open the palms nice and wide, stretching the fingers. So if I lift my hands up so you can see them better, I'm gathering into a fist and then opening as I exhale and stretching the fingers and palms away. Inhaling, gathering into a little fist. You can tuck the thumb inside the fist. Exhale, opening the palm and the fingers nice and wide. Let's stay here for 3 more breaths. Let's remove the blocks. Just notice how this feels without the blocks. Notice if you feel tension in the tops of the hip flexors here. Notice how it feels on the back body. Notice how the soles of the feet connect. The right sole of the foot and the left sole of the foot. See if you can allow the body to relax, allow the knees to drop down towards the earth. Gather the knees together. Let's walk the knees as wide as the mat. Lift up the lower sacrum and place it back down, just replacing the spine onto the earth. And let's drop the knees over to the right, doing a windshield wiper. And then inhaling to center, exhaling over to the left. Inhale up to center, exhale over to the right. Just one more time, over to the left. And walk the feet in again. So they're about hip width apart. Again, lift the lower back up. And this time we're going to roll over to the right. Just rolling over to your right side. Coming into that fetal pose. Making our way up to seated. So taking your time to come up to seated. I'm going to bring this pillow with me. So coming up. And place the pillow underneath the sit bones. So if I turn to my side here, I'm going to gently place this cushion underneath my spine. Now we're doing seated butterfly. And you'll notice if I have a little bit of a cushion underneath my bottom, I'm not feeling as if I can feel so hunched over. So it feels a lot better to have a little bit underneath your bottom. And again, my feet aren't coming super close to the body. I'm extending them out more into a diamond shape. You can also place the blocks underneath your thighs. This is a beautiful pose. Coming forward into that forward fold. Go on up. We roll forward here, allowing the body to soften. My knees are resting upon the blocks. Coming to stillness. And this is a beautiful static forward fold where we can get into the hamstring, into the glute. Also opening up the back of the spine. So the more you come forward, the more you come into this forward fold, the more you are stretching into the back side of the body. Couple more breaths here. And slowly rising up. So in a yin and hatha type practice, especially in a therapeutic yin, we come up nice and slow, take time to resettle the body. And now extending the feet out in front of us. And I'm going to draw the toes back towards me. So if Izzy wasn't sitting by my feet, you'd be able to see my toes drawn back. My heels are pressing into the floor. And again, if you have really cranky knees, you can place a block or the bolsters underneath the knees. So let's start with that. So you can see my toes now drawing towards me. I'm going to bring my arms up, allow the shoulders to be soft, extending forward, coming into that forward fold. So you can grab your toes, your peace fingers if you want, or you can place the hands down on the ground. And also knowing just coming slightly forward is still beneficial as a forward fold. In yin, we like to allow the feet to relax, so allowing us to soften into the ligaments, the joints, holding the pose for a length of time. And as you come to this edge of the pose, if you feel that you are able to go deeper, you can go deeper. So for myself, I'm going to remove the blocks and come into that static forward fold, allowing the chin to come towards my heart. Pressing the heels away from me. And staying here for 5 breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose. And slowly pressing through the hands and rising up. So I'm coming up to that nice seated Dandasana pose. Again, I'm going to press into my heels, draw those toes towards me. Take a few breaths here, just allowing the body to settle, allowing the spine to straighten. And let's make our way over onto hands and knees. So coming into our hands and knees pose, we're coming into cat-cow. So cat-cow, we want to stack the wrist, elbows, and shoulders, and also the knees and the hips, drawing belly button in. So you'll notice if I face you, my inner elbows are facing towards you. I want to turn those towards each other. From here, begin to inhale, bringing your gaze up towards the sky. And as you exhale, you press the floor away from you. Chin comes towards the heart, rounding the back body. And then again, inhaling, gazing up, arching. Exhale, rounding. Let's bring another cue into this. So if you look at my feet, I'm going to tug the toes towards me. I'm not tucking the toes. I'm drawing the toes towards me. So I'm tugging the toes. When you do this, you're going to feel your abdominal muscles engage. And we're going to keep this nice strong foundation. So everything is stacked nicely. Toes are tugging towards me. I'm going to inhale, look up towards that beautiful blue sky out here in the Shishwab. And then as I exhale, I'm going to round, pushing the ground away from me. My fingers are nice and wide. Toes are still tugging. And inhale. arching, exhale, rounding. 2 more. Good. Come back to your hands and knees into easy pose. And we're going to come into a toe squat. Because I had broken my toe earlier this year, I'm going to use the bolster to help keep control of how much weight I put on my toes. So I'm going to take my knees on top of the bolster and tuck the toes here. So you can see I can control how much weight I want to put on my toes, which is allowing my feet to open up. So we're creating more strength and flexibility into the toes and opening up the back of the feet. So especially getting into that plantar fascia in the whole back of the foot. If this is too much and too painful, you can bring your hands forward and just slowly allow as much weight as you want on your toes. If you're okay here, bring your hands into Anjali Mudra. Close your eyes. We're going to stay here for 3 more breaths. And this is starting to feel a lot for me, so I'm going to come out of this pose, untuck the toes, give them a little tap, and come over onto my hands and knees. We'll move the bolster out of the way, coming into child's pose. Knees come nice and wide, sit bones come back towards the heels. Bring your forehead down to the mat or to a block. And bring the thumbs to meet here, so allowing the elbows to rest. And just start with a little bit of movement. Just letting the body massage the joints and the Ajna chakra, the third eye on the mat. And now come to that beautiful stillness. Here you can breathe into the back sides of the lungs, feeling a broadening into the shoulder blades. Allow the sinking of the hips down towards the heels. And to bring a little bit of variation in, let's bring the palms of the hands together, press into the elbows, and lift the palms above the head into prayer. So this gets into the tricep muscle. You can even bring a little bit of weight into the elbows. Three more breaths. Bring the palms down to the earth, looking forward. We will come back up to hands and knees. This time coming into sunbird or bird dog. I'm going to outstretch that right foot. So coming into a nice calf stretch here is just rocking back and forth. So you may need to adjust to make sure you're getting a nice stability here. From here, you're going to lift the alternate hand. So lifting that left hand, palm faces towards the center. Notice if you can keep both hips quite even. And now lifting that right foot off the ground. So I'm not going to lift it high. I'm going to keep it nice and even with the hips, so I'm not hurting the lower back. Draw that belly button back in. So keeping the abdominal muscles engaged. Good. From here, take that left hand down. You're going to turn and come into a side plank. So modified side plank, creating some nice strength here. If this is too much, you can keep that foot on the floor. Come back to center and back to hands and knees. Let's draw that left foot out. Again, begin to rock into the calf muscle stretch. And now bringing that right hand up and gradually lifting the left foot. So again, I want to keep this back area even, nice and strong. One more breath. I'm going to drop the right hand down and come into that modified plank pose. Hi, Izzy. With the left arm up into the sky. Keep that left foot nice and active. A couple more breaths here. So you can gaze up at the hand or you can just look ahead. You can gaze into that beautiful fireplace. Windmill that arm down. Come into your hands and knees pose. And let's come into our downward facing dog. So lifting the knees off. Bring those hips nice and high. And walk out each foot. So just placing the hands, widening the fingers, soften the elbows. Lower the knees down to the ground. Hold here in bear pose, a couple of inches, and exhale to downward facing dog. Lower knees down. Exhale to downward facing dog. Good, let's lower our knees down to the mat. Coming into Anahata pose or puppy pose, we're going to walk the hands out, bring the forehead down to the mat, press the palms and keep the elbows lifted. It's a beautiful shoulder stretch here. Five more breaths. And slowly lifting up. Good. And come up to your kneeling pose. Just allowing the body to settle in here. Good. And we'll come into Malasana. So I like to take the block. I'm going to place it underneath the sit bones. Bringing the feet onto the mat, I'm going to walk the toes off of the mat and heels are still on the mat, coming into that Malasana or squatting pose. So if you need to, you can rest your sit bones down on the block. So this is a great stretch here into the hips. Also for women, it's wonderful for bringing in some toning for the uterus. So maybe engaging the pelvic floor here. Engaging the pelvic floor. Allowing the breath to soften. And you You can even remove the block, so allowing the sit bones to really draw down towards the earth. So you're going to feel this more intensely in the hips. Good. From here, I'm going to place my hands down behind me, coming into a boat pose. So for me, I like to keep it very therapeutic, holding on to the backs of my thighs. Heels are drawn away from me, toes coming towards me. If you wish, you can bring the hands up in front and then clasp line. Good. Come all the way up to seated. Just take a moment to check in. Sit up nice and tall. Draw your right ear towards your right shoulder. You can take this right hand and just gently bring it onto the side of the left side of the head, close to the left ear. Bring the head back up to center. Left ear drops over to the left shoulder. Again, taking that left hand over top, so just close to the right ear. And we're not pulling on the head, we're just letting the head rest here. Removing the hands and coming back to your bolster. Just bringing that bolster in front of you now. So look back so you can see me. I'm going to bring my feet nice and wide into that wide forward fold and sitting up nice and tall here. I like to use my bolster to rest my head on. So coming forward, resting my forehead on top of the bolster. Hands come down to the mat. Feet are still active, allowing the feet to rest here. Softening the feet, feeling that deep, deep, deep stretch into the back of the hamstrings here. More breath. Slowly lifting up, bringing that bolster down to the ground, coming into Sukhasana. This is a restorative forward fold, so wonderful for times when you're feeling fatigued. Also for women when we're going through menopause, a lot of times we need a very nourishing sequence for our bodies. So coming forward onto the bolster, bring your right or left ear onto the bolster, allowing yourself to settle in here into this beautiful forward fold. My chest is resting on the bolster. You can also take an extra pillow, place it underneath the head. And you will feel this. It doesn't look like I'm doing much, but I'm getting a really deep stretch into the right glute. are resting on the mat. Slowly pressing into the palms. Let's take the other foot in front. Again, coming into that beautiful relaxed forward fold, hinging forward from the hips. This time I'm going to bring my left ear down. Deep sensation here of the left hip. Into stillness. Just allow yourself to breathe, fall into the quietness, into a place of ease. Pressing into the palms, coming up to seated. Again, allow the body to settle. Bring your hands into the self-care mudra. Root down through the sit bones. Lengthen through the spine. Feel like you're lifting through the tips of the ears and crown of head reaches for the sky. We'll come back down onto our backs now, taking the pillow behind me for a place for my head to rest. We will come into a supported butterfly pose. So make your way down. So taking hands down behind you, coming onto the back, bring the knees into your chest. Let's take the bolster close to our buttocks. We're going to bring the soles of the feet together, knees open wide into that reclined butterfly, or basically bound ankle pose, Supta Baddha, asana. See if you can relax the back body without arching the back up towards the sky, and soften the back down onto the mat. To bring my feet to the bolster, lift up, just resetting the lower back, and bring the knees in towards the chest. Let's drop the knees over to the right, and turn your head over to the left, looking over left palm. The chest, and then dropping them over to the left, looking over right palm, and my shoulders are remaining on the ground. chest, open the knees nice and wide, and begin to make some circles. Knees, so drawing the knees out, and then bringing them back in towards each other. So we some hip circles, lubricating hips. Now the other direction. Let's just rest that left foot down. You can rest it on the bolster or just press and put it down on the floor if you don't have that on. You don't have a bolster. And lift that right leg up towards the sky. Just drawing that left or the right thigh towards you. Lowering that leg all the way down, slowly lower it down. Let it rest upon the bolster. Now drawing that left foot up towards the sky. Again, clasping behind the left thigh. Drawing it towards the body. You can even bend the knee here slightly. And slowly lower this foot down, taking your time, using the abdominal muscles to slowly lower the leg. And let's rest here in Shavasana. Close the eyes. Make this easy. We come to Shavasana to absorb this practice. As you rest here in Shavasana, I will read to you a poem from Journey to the Heart. So please stay here in Shavasana. I'm going to come up to seated to read to you this beautiful poem. Actually, it's more of a meditation. And then I will bring you out of Shavasana. Today's reading is called Let Yourself Be Who You Are. It is difficult to be around people who are trying to be perfect, perfectly healthy, perfectly polite, perfectly posed, and perfectly controlled. Remember that being human means being imperfect, being flawed. Let yourself be. Let others be. Slouch in your chair, eat with the wrong fork, and laugh out loud. Stand up and reveal who you are, and know that you are good enough. Stop worrying that people will find out who you really are. Instead, hope that they do. Help them by openly sharing yourself and being not who you think you should be, but who you really are. Freedom is a small step away. Step into self-love and acceptance. When you take it, others will follow, and be grateful you led the way. So slowly making your way out of Shavasana, we begin by opening our eyes, wiggling our fingers and our toes, making small movements, maybe rocking your head from side to side. And then slowly taking your time to roll to your right side. As you roll to your right side, take a moment to bring in a time of gratitude, knowing that one day things will be back to how we wish it to be. But knowing you can always come to your yoga mat for this time of peace and serenity. Slowly make your way up to seated and meet me with your hands in Anjali Mudra at your heart center. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Receive that beautiful in-breath. Exhale. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. One more time, inhaling through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. We will end this practice with one single Om. So inhaling. Bring your hands into the self-care mudra, cupping your heart as if you're cupping a small child against your chest. And I can remember my teacher Karuna always speaking to this. Hold your heart as if you would hold a small child with tenderness against your heart. The divine light in me sees, honors, and cherishes the divine light in you. With much gratitude from my gentle yogi heart to each of your gentle yogi hearts. Namaste. So namaste, sweet yogis. Thank you so much for watching this video. I try and do live videos, but I sometimes forget to press live. So this is a recording from this morning to replace the yin class that we're missing right now in person. I really hope to be back in person with you soon. But for now, I hope you enjoy this video. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Georgina, Kyllo, Yoga, and also hit the like button. This lets me know if you like this video, if you want more videos. I would love to hear your comments. Please comment below, and I will post more videos. Have a wonderful day, and much gratitude from my heart to each of your hearts. Thank you.